And good morning. This is Pierre Leinweber, aka Coach Big Pete, going for the small school. This is small school 1A through 4A. The next video is 5A through 8A. This is 1A through 4A 2019 playoffs. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you like my work, feel free to leave a tip via PayPal. Link on below. All right, so let's get started, shall we? 1A for Lewistown. Again, I really think they're going to be a little bit of a surprise team, but they face a tough thing in Wethersfield. Forreston takes an Ottawa Marquette, old matchup. Who I really like Forreston from what I saw week one against Dakota. Definitely a team to keep an eye out for. Aurora Christian to me versus Lena Winslow 1A is a big game. Am I saying that it's going to be an upset? No. Is it a great challenge for Lena Winslow? Yes. I think this is a big game. Ethan Hampton at quarterback. That's dangerous. And should be a good game as Aurora Christian takes on Lena Winslow. Orangeville versus Chicago Hope Academy. I have none. I know a lot of people are picking Chicago Hope to get the upset, but to say this, Orangeville to me is a solid team. Keep an eye out for Orangeville. One of my other favorite teams is Freeport Akron. I love Freeport Akron. What Coach Brock Cronin has done is unbelievable. He deserves a hats off. Central A&M is 9-0. They're the big dogs. Do I think they can challenge Lena Winslow? It's going to be tough. Lena Winslow to me is the clearer winner for Class 1A. That's just my personal feeling. Again, can things change? Oh yeah, things are going to change. And again, I make bad predictions. I make horrible predictions, and I've never ever called myself an expert. But I think Lena Winslow is they're just too strong this year. Oakwood is another interesting team. Athens, I love Athens. Athens football and their passing attack. That's another interesting game. Athens can go pretty far this season, pretty far in the playoffs for Class 1A. And Argento Oriana, another school that very interesting. Carrollton, another school too. Camp Point Central, Coach Dixon's got his team going very good. And keep an eye out for Salt Fork too. And Toledo versus Fisher is one of my interesting games for Class 1A. All right, so let's get to 2A, shall we? All right, 2A. Rockford Christian versus Knoxville. I think Knoxville's going to do good in that one. Wasika, I think they're going to have a tough time with Tremont. Orion, I think the world of Orion, but they got a tough game of Sterling Newman Central Catholic. That's a tough game. Gibson City, everyone's picking Gibson City, and they should be. Gibson City's a dynasty. They're a good team, but keep an eye out for Central Clifton. Central Clifton to me is a very serious team. Was impressed with their line in the lineman challenge. Was impressed with their wide receivers too, and their passing attack as well. And they have a hell of a running game too. Do not sleep on Central Clifton. Another school, Fieldcrest, you can't sleep on because they beat Gibson City. Fieldcrest is another team. Nokemis, Tessarelli, he is the quarterback. He's very athletic for them. Auburn versus Chester is another interesting game. And you can't sleep on Josh Josephs and Mara Forsyth, too. Florida Tuscola is another one. And I think Arcola's in this, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to look for see if Arcola. Cesar Valio versus Mara Forsyth is a huge game, by the way. That's a big dog game right there. Definitely an interesting game. Chicago Christian, they could be interesting too with the boy list connection between quarterback and wide receiver. Keep an eye out for that. And let's get to 3A. Now 3A, I love Williamsville. I love Williamsville. I think the world of Williamsville. Williamsville to me, the passing attack is unbelievable. Aaron Kuntz does a wonderful job. Spring Valley Hall versus Peatone's an interesting game for me. Uh, Shout out to Seneca, by the way, making the playoffs as they take on Farmington. Rock Island Almond versus Broyon. Broyon is going to be a good game. Eureka, Chicago Dunbar. Eureka, another interesting game from where I'm sitting that I like looking at. It's going to be interesting too. Again, when Wilmington gets to play, I personally think Wilmington and Bryan are going to be the two teams in the quarterfinals. That's my personal feeling about that one. And I really do believe Princeton is going to be in the quarterfinals too. I really believe that. I like them. Quincy Notre Dame has got a tough game against Greenville, but if they can, they'll be Quincy Notre Dame Bairdstown in the second round game. Fairfield, do not sleep on Fairfield. Do not sleep on Fairfield. I'm telling you that right now. But I like Williamsville. The Quins, another interesting team facing Monticello. That's going to be a great game. And do not sleep on the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Do not sleep on them. They are a hell of a team. Let's go to 4A. Now, 4A is interesting. I have no idea what's going on. I think we'll get more of a bigger deal when we find out on Wednesday what the Chicago teachers strike. Coal City takes on Phoenix. I love Coal City with the 1A bracket. Wheaton and St. Francis, very interesting. They got a good chance of going against Chinook Kingston in round 2. Mantino versus Marengo is another interesting game. Bishop McNamara versus Paris. They play each other again. They played each other last year, and Bishop Mac won. IVC versus Taylorville, another interesting game too, as we talk about that. But IVC gets the number 1 seed. Columbia, don't sleep on Columbia, please. Columbia is a great school. And Effingham, very interesting, as Effingham takes on Breeze Central as well. And Olney is another interesting team. Good rushing attack, good solid defense. They run to the ball as well. Stillman Valley at the number 6 seed. IC at the number 3 seed. That's going to be an interesting game if they get into that second round. Stillman Valley could do something against IC, but I think IC's got the better hand. But do not sleep on Stillman Valley at 8-1 this regular season. Prairie Central. I talk about Prairie Central a lot, but do not keep an eye out for Prairie Central. Very impressive with their offensive line. But when we get into 4A and we talk about offensive line, defensive line, Richmond Burden and Coal City to me are the 2 top dogs. That is going to be an interesting first bracket. Going into Richmond Burden is going to get first. It looks like they're first going to see IC. Coal City is going to first see St. Francis. Those are 2 big dog games, by the way. If this were to happen, I'm not foreshadowing. Again, anything can happen. Like I said, not an expert. Football is a long life learning journey, but keep an eye out for those teams of Richmond Burden, Coal City, IC, and I said that numerous times. And do not sleep on Illinois Valley, the IVC Grey Ghosts. Now, they have a tough game. I'm going to say this reason why. Taylorville is a tough team. Taylorville can shock some people. And after that, if they have to play Murfreesboro or Civic Memorial, that's another tough game. Bishop McNamara, if Toledo Unity wins, it's going to be an interesting game between Toledo Unity, and if Bishop Mac wins, another interesting game as well too. All right, and that is 1A-4A. The next video is going to be 5A to 8A. My email is CoachBigPete@fp@gmail.com. If you have any questions, please follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Deep Dish Football live every Wednesday now, just Wednesday, 9 a.m. I'm sorry, Wednesday, 8 p.m. And Breakfast with Coach Big Pete every Sunday at 10 a.m. Thank you guys so much for joining. And my name is Pierre Leinweber. I'm signing off. Have a lovely day.